I'm 73 years old, and I'm going to tell you something that may disturb you. Everything you believe you know about growing older is entirely wrong. And the hardest part? The people who should be explaining this, your parents, your teachers, society, they're either misleading you or they simply don't know themselves. You see, I spent the first 50 years of my life trusting the same lies you likely trust right now. I believed I had it all sorted out. I had the job, the home, the admiration of my peers. But at 52, something occurred that broke everything I believed I understood. And what I uncovered in the 21 years since then has completely transformed how I view life, death, and everything in between. But before I explain what occurred, I need you to grasp something clearly now. The reason I'm creating this video isn't to impress you or to make myself feel wise. I'm doing this because I'm running out of time, and there are things you must hear before it becomes too late. Not for me, for you. At 52, I experienced what physicians describe as a cardiac incident. That's a polished way of saying my heart nearly ended me. I was in a conference reviewing quarterly forecasts when abruptly the room began spinning. The next thing I recall is waking up in a hospital bed with tubes extending from my arms and my wife sobbing in the corner. The doctors said I was fortunate. I had just come face to face with my own mortality, and they labeled it fortune. But you know what? They were correct. Because lying in that hospital bed, with nothing to do but reflect, I realized something horrifying. I had been living my entire life on autopilot. I wasn't truly alive. I was simply moving through routines, ticking boxes, trying to satisfy everyone else's expectations. And here's the part that follows me to this day. If I had died that day, if my heart had stopped forever, what would I have left behind? A pleasant house, a retirement fund, a pile of accomplishments that nobody would remember in 5 years. Let me tell you the greatest lie you're likely telling yourself right now. I have time. I'll handle that later. When I'm older, I'll finally live the life I want. I see young people in their 20s, 30s, even 40s, and they're all repeating the same thing. When I earn more money, then I'll be happy. When I land that promotion, then I'll relax. When the kids grow up, then I'll travel. When I retire, then I'll finally do what I love. Let me spare you 50 years of regret with one simple truth. That day never arrives. You know why? Because the goalposts keep shifting. You get the promotion, and suddenly you want the next one. You earn more money, and suddenly you want more money. You're always pursuing something just out of reach. And before you realize it, you're 70 years old wondering where your life disappeared. I did this. I spent 30 years climbing a ladder, only to discover when I reached the top that it was leaning against the wrong wall. And you can't climb back down and begin again. Time doesn't function that way. Here's something nobody tells you when you're young. Success is a terrible destination, and I say this as someone who accomplished everything I set out to accomplish. I made partner at my firm. I purchased the house. I earned the respect of my colleagues. And you know what? None of it mattered. You reach your goal, and for about 48 hours you feel incredible. Then the feeling fades. You're back to baseline. Now you need a new goal, a bigger achievement, more validation. It's a hamster wheel. I had a friend who passed away 3 years ago at 68, worked 70-hour weeks his whole life, built a multi-million-dollar company, never took a proper vacation, kept telling himself he'd slow down next year. Next year arrived, and he suffered a stroke. At his funeral, his son said, "My father was a successful man, but I hardly knew him." Is that the legacy you want? Your regrets won't be about the things you did wrong. They'll be about the things you never did at all. I don't lie awake at night thinking about failed business deals. Those don't matter. You know what keeps me awake? The trip to Japan I never took because I was too busy. The relationship with my brother that I allowed to fade. The book I always wanted to write but never began. The time I didn't spend with my kids because I was working late. These things consume you. The missed chances, the paths not taken, the love you didn't show, the risks you avoided because you were scared, the people you love, your parents, your siblings, your close friends. You believe you have endless time with them. You don't, and one day that time will be gone. My father passed away when I was 45. We had a complicated relationship, and I was always too busy to truly fix it. I kept believing we'd have time to talk when I was less busy. We never got that opportunity. Heart attack, gone within hours. And you know my biggest regret? All the Sundays I didn't call him. All the times I was too exhausted to drive over for dinner. All the small moments I allowed to slip away. There won't always be more. After my heart attack, I made major changes, stepped back from work, began saying no to things that didn't matter, began saying yes to things I had postponed for decades. In these last 21 years, I've learned more about life than I did in the previous 52. What matters is embarrassingly simple. Time with people you love, work that feels meaningful to you, experiencing things, not owning things, creating memories, being present. I know it sounds simple. When I was your age, I would have rolled my eyes. Sure, but I have bills to pay. And yes, you do. I'm not saying quit your job. I'm saying don't sacrifice what matters for what doesn't. Here's a question I want you to ask yourself, and I want you to answer it honestly. If you died tomorrow, would you be satisfied with the life you've lived so far? Not, would people be impressed by your eulogy? Not, did you achieve enough? Just, would you be satisfied? If the answer is no, then what are you waiting for? What are you doing with your time that's so important that you're willing to gamble your one precious life on it? I'm 73 years old. I've been fortunate enough to have good health since that heart attack. But every morning, when I wake up, I'm aware that I'm living on borrowed time. We all are, really. But most young people don't realize this. They believe they're invincible. They believe they have endless time. You don't. I have grandchildren, 3 of them. And when I look at them, I notice the same patterns I see in many young people today. They're stressed, they're anxious, they're chasing things that won't bring them happiness. They're repeating the same mistakes I once made, and I try to warn them. I try to pass along what I've learned. But you know what? They don't truly listen. Not because they're bad kids, but because they can't. They're living inside the storm right now. They can't recognize the patterns yet. They believe their situation is different, that the old rules don't apply to them. That's why I'm making this video. Because maybe, just maybe, if enough people hear this message, someone will finally listen. Someone will choose differently. Someone will avoid the regrets that follow people like me. Every single day, you're moving closer to death. Nobody enjoys thinking about this, but you don't have endless time. Neither do the people you love. Your parents, if they're still alive, they're aging every day. One day, probably sooner than you expect, they won't be here. Your friends, your spouse, your children, none of these connections last forever. So, what are you going to do? Keep delaying that phone call? Keep postponing that journey? Keep telling yourself you'll make time later? Or are you going to wake up today and begin living like your time is limited? Because it is. If I could go back and speak to my 30-year-old self, here's what I would say. Stop trying to impress people who don't matter. Stop sacrificing your health for your career. Stop delaying joy until someday. Stop waiting for permission to live the life you want. Start calling your parents more often. Start taking the trips you dream about. Start doing the things that frighten you. Start saying no to obligations that drain you. Start saying yes to experiences that fulfill you. And above all else, begin today, not next year, not once this project ends, not when you have money or time or anything. Today, because I assure you, the perfect moment will never arrive. Life will always be chaotic and complex and filled with excuses to delay. But if you delay, you'll wake up one day and realize you postponed your entire life away completely. I'm 73. If I'm fortunate, perhaps 10 or 15 more years, maybe 20 if favored, probably fewer. And I'm at peace with that, because these past 21 years have been the fullest of my life, not because I earned more money, because I finally began living on purpose, valuing every day, focusing on what matters. I've traveled to places I long to see, strengthened relationships with my children and grandchildren, followed hobbies I delayed, forgave people I carried resentment toward, said, "I love you" countless times. I'm happier now, at 73, with less time ahead than I was at 30, when I believed I had all the time in the world. That's the irony. When you realize time is limited, you begin to live. You stop squandering it. You stop delaying joy. You begin creating the right moment. You have a choice right now, today. Keep living the way you are, chasing success, postponing happiness, telling yourself you'll make time later, or wake up. Understand time is slipping away faster than you realize, and the life you're waiting to live must start now. I can't make this choice for you, but I can tell you, you don't want to be 73 looking back, regretting the choices you made. Don't waste 52 years discovering this yourself. Learn from my mistakes. Live intentionally. Focus on what matters. Stop waiting for someday. Someday is today. It always has been. If this resonates, share this video. Leave a comment. Tell me what you'll do differently. Subscribe, because I have more truths to share and not much time left. The clock is ticking. What will you do with your time?